Here we have a worksheet set up for the first quarter. I've done a lot of things to this worksheet as far as changing column widths. I've gone into the page setup, set the margins the way I want them, set the headers and footers the way that I want them. Now I need to make an exact copy of this worksheet for Q2, Q3, and Q4. Many times people will use the new worksheet icon and then try and copy and paste the data from one sheet to another. But you often lose your column widths and you definitely lose your page setup information. A better way to do this is to right-click the tab. Choose Move or Copy. If you wanted to, you could actually move this to a new workbook, but I'm going to keep it in this workbook and move it right before the word processor sheet. The important thing that I almost always forget to do is click Create a Copy. If you don't click Create a Copy, it will just move the sheet from one place to another. Click OK. The only downside is it gives the sheet a funny name, so you have to right-click and choose Rename and type the proper name. Now there's a great shortcut for this, provided you have more than one worksheet in your workbook. If you hold down the Control key, you can just click on the tab and drag to create an identical copy of the worksheet. Now you still have to rename it by right-clicking and choosing Rename. You can use this method to create several copies of a worksheet very quickly. Now the next trick is a great way if you need to change several copies of a worksheet. We have Q1, Q2, and Q3, and let's say I discover that I need to insert a new row on all three worksheets. I choose Q1 and then hold down the Shift key while I choose Q3. You'll see that all three worksheets become highlighted, and in the title bar at the top, it says that we're in group mode. In group mode, even though I'm seeing Q1, any change that I make will happen to all of the sheets. I can click here on row 9 and use Insert Row, that's Alt-I-R, in order to insert a row. Now I have to warn you, every time that I go into group mode, I forget that I'm in group mode, and I'll start keying numbers here in Q1 and forget that I've keyed numbers in Q2, Q3. I actually go to the point of getting a little yellow sticky note and sticking it right on my screen. It says, hey, you're in group mode, so that way I remember to turn it off. To get out of group mode, you can either choose a worksheet that's not in group mode, right-click a tab, and choose Ungroup Sheets.